And it's a good morning. Welcome to Church of the Total Man. Today we're going to be in Proverbs chapter 3. We're looking for the plain meaning. We're not looking for some esoteric meaning. You don't have to be a special person or have some special understanding to get to the truths of Proverbs. You don't have to have a seminary education. You don't have to be a man of the cloth. You don't have to go to church. Actually, this is church for many people, and I'm glad you're here. Here we go with Proverbs chapter 3. You can read along if you want. My son, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and years of life and peace they will add to you. Interesting. Following the commandments of the Lord. What have we learned so far? Stay away from that woman. That was a big one, right, for the first couple chapters. A lot of bad things can happen when it comes to being with a certain kind of woman, a forbidden woman, not only an adulteress, but also a sexual tourist, a degenerate, a woman who inverts the use of her body for unnatural purposes. It says, let not steadfast love and faithfulness forsake you. And here comes the imagery again of that putting something around your neck. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablets of your heart. Put it around your neck. The teachings of your parents, the teachings of elderly, the teachings of Scripture. So you will find favor and good success in the sight of God and man. There's a direct correlation between following commandments, listening to God, and favor and success in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. You ever try to figure things out on your own? And where does it lead you? In all your ways, acknowledge Him. Boy, that's a hard one, isn't it? Because I compartmentalize. I am Mr. Compartmentalize. There's certain things I do God's way, but then there's certain things I do my way. Don't worry, God, I got this one. We push God aside. And then we wonder when things go wrong, we wonder why. Or we blame God. It's like, you heard me say this in the past. If you jump off a cliff and on your way down to the ground at 1,000 miles an hour, or however fast you go if you jump off a cliff, you say, God, help me. Why didn't you save me? Well, the consequences of your folly are going to happen real soon. So you can do things God's way, and I'm going to share with you what is God's way, and it's not radical, it's not weird, and it's a matter of trusting in God when it comes to things in your life like socialization, intergender relationships, work in general, business in general. Those laws we are to put around our neck like a necklace. We wear them. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord. Revere. When it says fear, it doesn't mean like, a lot of times when people see the word fear, they're thinking like a horror movie, like, it's not like that. It's like revere the Lord. Have reverence for the Lord. And turn away from evil. It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones. So following God's laws literally has an effect on our bodies. Literally, we can feel more healthy and be more healthy if we follow the laws of God. Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty and your vats will be bursting with wine. So you honor God. You give the Lord a percentage of what He has given to you. Some people will call that tithing. Some people will call that like 1/10. Tithing means a tenth of what you have produced. So people will tithe to a church, they will tithe to a charity, they will tithe to a ministry. They will take that money and use it to help people directly and not entrust someone else or a pastor or a board or the head of a ministry with their money. They will actually use a tenth of their income of what their farm produces. And we're talking like agricultural terms here, but also can apply to business as well. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline or be weary of his reproof, for the Lord reproves him who he loves, as a father the son in whom he delights. Boy, that's a tough one, isn't it? Falling, or, you jump off that cliff and you're going to experience, like I said, the consequences of your folly. If you do certain things, there's going to be consequences. You can't expect God to rescue you if you willingly do things wrong. I'm hearing the birds outside, and it's a beautiful thing right now. There's a bird feeder right outside that window. Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding. For the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit better than gold. Remember, wisdom is the application of knowledge. So think about that. Blessed is the one who applies knowledge, who gets understanding. And the gain from applying knowledge is better than silver or gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Nothing. Long life is in her right hand. Remember, wisdom. Think about wisdom for a second. The application of knowledge. Long life is in wisdom's right hand. In her left hand are riches and honor. So following the Lord, two things can happen: long life and riches. And I'm not talking about living a lavish life. Here we're talking about having your needs met, having abundance, not having to go to sleep worrying about things, worrying how you're going to pay this bill. Long life. In other words, when you apply wisdom, you're not going to suffer physically. I've been talking a lot about longevity, and I feel pretty darn good. And the more I follow God's laws, the healthier I am. And many people have watched that transformation as I've how can I say it? I'm not returning to God. I never left God, but I am returning to obedience to God. And when you make a return to obedience to God, long life is there, and riches are there, and honor. It says riches and honor. In her left hand are riches and honor. So you can be recognized for the good that you do. And you don't do things in order to be recognized. Some of the greatest people in the world, the most charitable people in the world, are people who you will never know their name. Speaking again of wisdom, her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her, and those who hold her fast are called blessed. So what is being blessed? Having a long life, having your needs met, riches, having wealth and abundance, and having honor. God recognizing your work, the world recognizing your work. That all happens when we bind wisdom around our neck, when we wear it like a necklace. And what is wisdom? The application of knowledge. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deep broke open, and the clouds dropped down the dew. My son, do not lose sight of these. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, and they will be life for your soul and adornment for your neck. That imagery of something around your neck just keeps popping up over and over and over, doesn't it? How many here wear a necklace of some type? Cross around your neck or something with a symbol on it. Why do we wear things around our neck? You ever just wonder, why people put things around their neck? Why is that important? Is there something deep within us that tells us that what we put around our neck is special, is sacred, is blessed? And it's actually saying that if you're going to, how's this? If you're going to put something around your neck, let it be wisdom. That's pretty cool. And what else does wisdom provide? Life for your soul. Wisdom just provides so much, doesn't it? It blows my mind when I look at that. Having wisdom just does so much for you. Long life, healthy life, honor amongst men. My son, do not lose sight of these. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, and they will be life for your soul and adornment for your neck. Then you will walk on your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. If you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. I have found that there's a direct correlation between my returning to the Lord and the sweetness and deepness, the depth of my sleep. I've always been a fairly good sleeper, and I have insomnia, so to speak, for 1 or 2 nights a year where I just can't fall asleep. And as I have returned to obedience to God, my sleep has been amazing, absolutely amazing. If you are married or single or divorced or feel like you don't belong or feel like you don't fit in, this really is for you. This truly is for you. Because when it comes to sleep deprivation, you can make all kinds of bad decisions. And it's telling us that if we apply wisdom in our lives, even our sleep is going to be sweet and deep. So obedience to the Lord, applying wisdom, really is a thing that affects our entire lives, everything we do, our direction, our income, our sleep, our longevity. Don't be afraid of the sudden terror or the ruin of the wicked when it comes, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. God protects us, but if we put ourselves in danger, which again is going to be the consequences of our folly, we're going to get ourselves into trouble. I have said in the past, you've heard me say that I bear on my body and in my heart and in my soul the scars and the marks of disobedience. And as I have returned to obedience, I feel the scars less. I feel the turmoil less. I feel a sweeter, deeper sleep and have more satisfaction in my life. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in your power to do it. So we're taking wisdom. Now we're going from using wisdom for ourselves and using it for other people. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in your power to do it. So now the wisdom is working its way out. The application of knowledge is working its way out. With your long life, with your health, with your deep sleep. What is it for? Is it just for yourself? It's actually to use, or one of the things you can do is use it for others when it is in your power to do so. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come again. Tomorrow I will give it when you have it with you now. Very practical, isn't it? Proverbs is very practical. Literally, it's very practical. It's telling us how to live without condemning us. It's telling us in very practical terms that when we apply knowledge, when we wear it around our neck like a necklace, that our life is going to be long. We're going to be honored by men. We're going to have abundance. And we're going to sleep deep. And with all that, we get a chance to help other people. We get a chance to bless other people. Like, don't say to your neighbor, I'll help you tomorrow, when you have the ability to do it right now, when the need is now. Think about it for a second. There's people, and I had said this week on social media, there are men whose wife just said to him this week, and I can verify this because I have some testimonials of men already that have come in, whose wife said, I don't want to be married anymore, and blindsided him. Give me a call next week, buddy, and we'll talk about it. Doesn't work. He needs help now. He's in shock now. He's losing blood now. He feels like his world is ending now. Don't withhold good from somebody when it is in your ability to do right now. Do not plan evil against your neighbor who dwells trustingly beside you. Don't contend with a man for no reason. Don't start fights. I'll tell you what, there are so many fights that are starting. And obviously, when this was written, it was talking about face-to-face things. There was no such thing as social media or virtual anything. It was literally, don't start fights with your neighbor. Think about how people start fights today on social media. Put other people down, do hit pieces. This is not reasoning that away. It's not justifying. It just says don't do it. Do not contend with a man for no reason when he has done you no harm. Do not envy a man of violence, and do not choose any of his ways. For the devious person is an abomination to the Lord. You know, there's people that are always scheming all the time, how to bring someone down. There's people that are always scheming on how to defame somebody. That's an abomination to the Lord. In other words, and that's a word that we don't use very much, if at all, abomination. How many times? When was the last time you used the word abomination, right? But the upright are in his confidence. The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the dwelling of the righteous. I want my home to be blessed, not cursed. I want my life to be blessed, not cursed. And I want to be able to bless people as I move along. How do you bless people? Hold a door open for them. You don't know what that person who is behind you, you're walking into the convenience store in the morning to get a cup of coffee, and the person who's 6 feet behind you, you don't know what just happened to them. Good or bad. But sometimes just holding a door for somebody, it's just such a simple act of grace and mercy and love. When someone is hurting, even just the act of holding the door for them is cool, is merciful, is showing grace. Making a compliment to somebody about their car, how they look, maybe their beard. Did you ever stand in line somewhere and just, I've had this happen when I had a big beard, and you see another guy with a beard, and you just look at him and just kind of nod a little bit. Hey, nice beard, bro. I like that. And he's surprised, like, me? Oh, hey, thanks, yeah. You never know when you're going to bless somebody, so why not make blessing people a lifestyle? Just make it part of your life. Saying good things to people. Your mother, your grandmother said, if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. How about this? How about we stop cursing people and just always bless people? And what's one of the things that I teach? Believe what people do, not what they say. So why not bless people? Just make it a lifestyle of blessing people. Little things. Little things help. Because those little things stack up over a period of time. In the same way, bad things stack up over a period of time. And then there's a pressure release valve that everyone has in their mind. And then people do stupid things. When enough bad things happen that they can't handle, it's going to blow. And every time you bless somebody, you relieve a little bit of pressure in their life. So you don't know who got bad news. You've gotten bad news and no one said anything to you. And it would have helped if someone said, I'm praying for you. I hear you. I'm thinking about you. Sorry to hear about X. I know how you feel. I've been there. You can reduce the bad pressure in people's lives by doing good things for them. God blesses the dwelling of the righteous. This is my dwelling right here. As I have returned to obedience to the Lord, I feel like this is a blessing now. Your home becomes a blessing to you. And everyone who walks in here gets a cup of coffee, gets a sandwich, gets a snack, gets good conversation, a handshake, a hug, a prayer. This is the dwelling of the righteous. Toward the scorners he is scornful, but to the humble he gives favor. Wow. You get favor from God when you are humble, when you have humility. Something I struggled with for many, many years was being humble. You know, the old Yogi Berra thing. It ain't bragging if you can do it. God gives us the ability to love. We can't love on our own. He gives us the ability to work, to earn, to provide. It all comes from the Lord. That's what humility is, not taking credit for it yourself. The wise will inherit honor, but fools get disgrace. Honor. Proverbs chapter 3. One of the things that we get, and that's the second time that word was mentioned in Proverbs chapter 3, if we apply knowledge, if we wear wisdom around our neck like a necklace, then literally there is honor. We get recognized by God, and we walk with God. You know, there's times when we feel very alone. I felt very alone the other night. For some reason, I had a feeling of aloneness. And I don't know why. I don't know why. And I was just talking to the Lord as I was driving. Like I was talking as if he was in the passenger seat next to me. And that's really weird when you come to like a stoplight or a stop sign and someone pulls up alongside of you and they see you talking to nobody. But I was talking to God, praying out loud. That's all prayer is. Prayer doesn't have to be, this solemn kind of thing. It can be, but just talking with God. He hears you, and you fit in, and you belong. So many places in life you go and you feel like you just don't fit in, and you feel weird, you feel like you don't belong, and then you tend to isolate. But you're never alone if you talk to the Lord, and if you apply wisdom, apply knowledge, which is wisdom, wear it like a necklace, you're going to have longevity, you're going to have health, you're going to have abundance, and you're going to have honor in this life. Recognition. You're going to have recognition for what you do. That's Proverbs chapter 3. I hope you learned something. I'll see you next week on Church of the Total Man. Have a good week.